When they told us that Ben Shapiro was coming to campus, I was just really shocked because, like, it's not something that I would see LMU supporting or involving themselves in, but here we are.
For Young Americans for Freedom, a project through Young Americans Foundation, and Ben Shapiro had an exclusive contract with them. So basically what we did is we put in a bid for him last semester, and they decided in December which schools would be hosting him this semester.
I was kind of surprised that it was something that LMU was allowing to have happen, but whatever their judgment call was in allowing that was the higher-ups' decision.
After we hosted the Daily Wire, other Daily Wire guys, we thought that Ben Shapiro would be the natural next fit. Ben Shapiro can talk more on those cultures. He talks fast and he really knows what he's talking about when it comes to conservative talking points.
I think the main problem that I have with Ben Shapiro is that his goal is to incite anger and fear and controversy with his opinions and his staunchly attacking liberals or the left or whatever you want to call it when they come to counter-protest.
His line is facts don't care about your feelings, right? So he's one that likes to bring a lot of, fact and reason to the debate and really isn't interested in making people necessarily feel good but he won't go out of his way to try and trigger people, right? To try and say things to get them to respond.
His goal is to incite chaos, and I think that's something that doesn't align with what we should be focusing on at LMU.
Education of the whole person is one of the core doctrines here at the school. So you're not really educated as a whole person if you don't hear any other side other than what you have been reaffirmed in your own beliefs. A lot of people here sometimes actually forget what actual free speech actually means and the concept of free speech. And they like to use the word hate speech a lot, but then they can't really define it, right? They define it to basically whatever they subjectively don't like. That's why it's important that he comes speak, to understand that people have different ideas, and just because you don't like them does not mean that they hate you or that they're being hateful.
I think that there's a very significant difference between hate speech and free speech. I do not believe in anyone's right to have an opinion that violates other people's rights and to go spread that opinion of hate and of intolerance to other people. I think that it's fine if he comes to campus because that's something that the LMU higher-ups have decided, and in line with free speech. I understand that, if we're going to give a platform to all of the other clubs on campus, then yes, I guess to make everything equal, they should be allowed to have a speaker as well. My personal opinion on it is that no one should attend this event.
I think the biggest controversy is, the misunderstanding of free speech and the concept of it. I think people have gotten so coddled and so into groupthink that they forget that there are other ideas out there. It's not because he's necessarily controversial. He's pretty mainstream in his conservative thought, but it's mainly because controversy has been now defined to mean something that we don't agree with.
If you don't agree with what Ben Shapiro is coming to campus to say, make that known by not giving him that platform again. Do something more constructive with your time than listening to this idiot talk.
It strengthens your own ideas, right? Or it makes you question some of your own assumptions, right? As for me, I was challenged as a conservative student coming here, and I got to hear a lot of left-wing points. And it helped me to reason and become sharper in those points. And so if we're trying to create sharp people, intellectual people at a university as what its mission is about, then I think it really is important for them to come. Even for faculty, you never stop learning just because you have a PhD.
It would be more constructive to have a counter-protest at a different location instead of necessarily even counter-protesting, a community organizing event or something that shows what the LMU community is really dedicated to, rather than showing up to his event and protesting at him and giving him more fuel for the flames of hate that he spreads.
They have their right to protest, they can protest. We have no quarrel with that. What we do have a quarrel with is people getting violent, obviously, but I think everyone does.
I created the Facebook event Anything Other Than the Ben Shapiro Talk because I think that that's what literally everyone on campus should be doing at that point. And I think it's pretty cool that currently the attendance for my event has higher attendance than Ben Shapiro's event on Facebook.
We welcome people's voices to voice their own opinion and their own dissent if they so choose, even if they're wrong. And I believe that they are wrong, but I welcome their freedom to do so, and because that's who we are and that's who we're about.